Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. This is your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, and we are here at the UEOA report, the news that's for us. And I want to talk about slavery. Slavery, slavery, slavery. Grand Rising. Grand Rising, Brandon. I'm trying to see if it's going to let me comment. I don't know what's going on. It's not letting me comment. But Grand Rising, lovely lady, 337177. I'm doing great, doing good. Brandon, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm on my phone, not my laptop. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Put a thumbs up or something in the comment because my screen is not showing. But if you can hear me, I guess I'm having a delay. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you, Brandon. Grand Rising, Queen. I know y'all see the introduction. So I'm probably going to make a couple of y'all mad. I decided to sit down. Oh, thank you, Black Love 17. I was going to sit down and I thought about it. I made this title a couple of weeks ago. Then I thought about it today. Grand Rising, James Thomas from Georgia. Thank y'all all for tuning in. Now, when we get this, I'm going to read you something. I'm going to read you a little quote from Neely Fuller. So, one moment. Let me get it. Neely Fuller, he made the United Independent Compensatory Code System and Concept. Grand Rising in Georgia. James Thomas. Neely Fuller Jr., the writer and author of this book, The United Independent Compensatory Code System and Concept, a compensatory counter-racist code book. They say we don't have a code, but we do. And I just want to read some stuff. Racism has done more to promote non-justice than any other social material system known to have been produced or supported by the people of the known universe. No major problem that exists between the people of the known universe can be eliminated until racism is eliminated. The fear, frustration, malice, and confusion that is caused by racism, which is white supremacy, retards or prevents all constructive activity between the people of the known universe. The only form of functional racism that exists among the people of the known universe is white supremacy. Grand Rising, one who cares. Regardless of all that has been said or done, the quality of the relationships between white people and non-white people is and has been a total disaster. Justice is better than racism. Are we trying to get justice? Racism and slavery goes together. As long as racism exists, anything said or done by people that is not intended to help eliminate racism and help produce justice is a waste of time and energy. I'm going to read that again. As long as racism exists, anything said or done by people that is not intended to help eliminate racism and help produce justice is a waste of time and energy. Grand Rising, Kathy B. Each and every victim of racism should minimize the time and effort spent doing anything other than thinking, speaking, acting in a manner that helps eliminate racism, which is white supremacy, and helps to establish justice, which is balance between people. Each and every person should seek to do this every day in every area of activity including economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and counterwar. Y'all see all the pictures I put in the chat? The little men is your corporate. I wrote this before, and like I said, I'm reading the back of Neely Fuller Jr.'s book. And I'm going to read that last quote so you can put together the pictures that I have out in this photo right here. Football, basketball, the sneakers, the designer labels, the voting, the religion, the corporations, the TV. Each and every victim of racism should minimize the time and effort spent doing anything other than thinking, speaking, and acting in a manner that helps to eliminate racism, which is white supremacy, and helps establish justice, which is balance between people that has nothing to do with black or white. Each and every person should seek to do this every day in every area of activity, which includes economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and counterwar. The reason why I said that is because we get comfortable with white supremacy. We get comfortable with racism. And we get so comfortable, that's why I say slavery is a choice, because of that. I thought about what Yee said, and I was mad when he first said it. How could you say slavery is a choice when no they couldn't help it? Then why the fuck excuse me? Why won't we fight back? Let me just say it the way that we need to say it. Why won't we fight back? Queen is a heel for Karen harassing us and getting our men killed. Look at what we're saying. We take a break with religion and we know we'll argue each other to death. Jesus, blah, blah, blah. When our language and everything that was translated to us was given to us by white supremacy. When we say white supremacy, because they're controlling everything. They control what you learn, the schooling, your education. They control the entertainment that you all cheer for. I don't really grasp the knowledge, and I understand we all need to make money, but we used to want to make money so that we can have our own. But now, Grand Rising, Barbara Smith Hudson, but now we're not even trying to get out of racism. We're not trying to get out of slavery. We're entertaining it. So that's a choice. We get up and choose to buy designer labels. We get up and choose to continue to vote, even though hundreds of years have showed us that they control the voting system, and they control it so much where they control the law. They pass laws so that they can keep controlling the power. They tell you, oh, you could be anything you want. You can vote, you can run for office, when they have all the money. They made running for office an expensive task when they know half of the black people, majority of us, don't have the money. But we spend money in gas going out to vote, voting for people, and we swear that one little candidate is going to get it in. I'm only using Stacey Abrams' name because that's the first thing that came to my head. But Stacey Abrams was in Georgia, and everybody across the world cheered for her, like whatever she does in Georgia is going to help your ass over there in Arkansas or Ohio and stuff like that. Do we not get this? We cheered for the black president. Obama came in. He ain't put not one executive order. I don't even know if he knew he could. He was probably so scared because he got his kids and stuff. So we live in the fear, but yet we live knowing that we can die each day anyway at the hands of those that we say are racist. We yell, say her name, say his name each and every day. Shout out to Alasia. I don't know if they went out. I didn't hear from her in Mississippi today. Look up hashtag Jaheim McMillan, 15-year-old boy shot in the head in front of all witnesses, most at a Family Dollar in Gulfport, Mississippi. They were supposed to be out there demonstrating today. I think it's today. And they were saying how Family Dollar didn't want to release the footage. We still work at Family Dollar. We work at these corporations and we complain about all this stuff. And when are we going to actually do something about it? They control the war. They have our people sign up for their militaries. And we do it because we need money. They put us in a situation where we have no choice. But just like they put us in a situation when we had no choice in some neighborhoods but to sell drugs. That's why they dump the drugs and the guns in there. And then they get to pick how they're going to handle the situation once they put us in those situations. They pick, when you get the drugs, now we're going to do a war on drugs. Now we can get them back into slavery and get them back into prison when we know the trick. Then when we use music through our lives. Spirituality. They knew through history. They tell you, oh, slavery was over. But we use music to tell each other messages. Now they took that same tool and used it against us, and we go for it. We don't mind saying nigga. We don't mind calling it. That's how the word spread. That's how it got spread. Back 50 years ago, you would get slapped in your grandmama's house by calling each other niggas. Did you hear your grandmama and them running around talking about that? Let me ask you. Do you look at football, baseball, the sports? Them athletes, they can play. They don't need you to cheer for them. They can play their behinds off. You choose to do that. Control is a form of slavery. Power is a form of slavery. They have the power. The whole point of putting us into slavery is so that they can have some people to do free labor so they can have more money. And we just keep on giving it to them. We the gift that keep on giving. We look at law. Most of us get into these police uniforms. Did my audio go away? LeVar said, where did the audio go? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can somebody put something in the chat to let me know? Okay. Thank you. Like I said, we're the gift that keeps on giving. We're Grand Rising, daughter of Yah, clothed in purple. Julie B. We the gift that keep on giving. Law. We get our black people in office, and then we always complain about how they turn because they're in a sea of piranhas and crocodiles and snakes. And when they get there, there is no one there to protect them. I know, I worked in corporate. It's easy to get sucked in that world. It's easy to not have to suffer like the other black people when you get around your white security blankets. They give you that comfort of thinking you're different. You're not doing like them. And we get caught up. And it's easy to get caught up. Then with us, our people, I ain't saying we were perfect. Now, some of our people are ridiculous. It's some of our people, we're going to have to separate ourselves from some of us. And some of us, that's there. We look at how some of us out here killing and shooting, and our kids out here killing and shooting. And we just say, hey, shit, white supremacy a little bit more comfortable than my brothers and sisters in the street killing each other, right? Let's be honest. We scared of each other. We don't trust each other. And we don't want to admit why we don't trust each other. I see people talking all the time, just like the Shanquilla thing. I looked at it as a ripping time again. Like, wow, why are they highlighting this story? I understand that it happened in Mexico and they making it, and it, all of us, almost every, you go through YouTube, almost every black YouTuber or or or, or commentary, a person that does that talks on social media, whether it's Facebook and YouTube, they're all saying they took her. It was planned. They took her to Mexico to kill her. They didn't even kill her. Okay, thank you, Lavar. They didn't purposely kill her. It happened. It happened during the fight. But I look back. That's why I don't really do a lot of videos on the first hot topic. Sometimes we don't know how to sit back and analyze stuff no more. They might have been, and everybody first said the other girl is jealous of her, and everybody was saying because the other one looked like a trans. Like, how did y'all just jump to that already? Y'all don't understand how y'all are programmed to attack. Y'all automatically took on the European in you stood the fuck up, and y'all automatically started saying, oh, she was jealous of her because of how she looked and she had this and that and everything. When we out here fighting and stuff in the street all the time, that is just one of many. I just showed a McDonald's where the two girls was fighting. Nobody said the other one was jealous of the other one. The other one came and yoked her around the neck like that girl did Shanquilla, and they fell on a concrete floor. Her neck could have as well been broken. But we don't look at that. We go by how we get programmed. They throw us out of bait, and we so busy trying to catch the bait, we don't see all the piranhas and the sharks around us snatching us off one by one. Because like a school of fish, they move together. They know we are a school of fish. They got us subconsciously thinking we move separately, but we're not moving separately. We move like a school of fish, and that's why I say slavery is a choice, because we choose not to see what the fuck is going on. Just like now when I said it, I bet you there's a lot of people, oh, she cursed. But then your child go out here and y'all all twerking together on the show and y'all listen to the same music. It ain't even no separation music from the kids and the grown-ups. The last time we all knew a child song together was Baby Shark, do. Every day other than that, the little kids know as much rap as the adults. And how did that happen? Your FCC, the people who control you, white supremacy that controls you. You better not say other words like cracker and all that other stuff. But they can make money off of you, and we watch them do Yee. I don't care what Yeezy is, and y'all call him crazy, blah, blah, blah. We watched him, Kyrie Irving. That was the ultimate wake-up call. He shared something that another white man is making money off of, and yet he had to apologize and all that. How much control are we going to give them before we say enough is enough? It takes a school of fish to recognize they're a school of fish. A school of fish can eat a shark up if they just turned around and look. We always running from the white man, but we got time to stop and fight each other. Shanquilla, I'm watching it like, why is this? Thank you, Jay. Thank you for your donation. I'm looking at Shanquilla. Why is we so hooked on this story when I can go to the hood and I know lots of people that fight? I know lots of people that done died. I know people that done shot people by accident. What they say is an accident. We just watched a 10-year-old boy shoot his mom. But we are so focused on Mexico. We want justice. We want justice. Get them. They all should be arrested. And then in a Mexican jail at that. Like she went out and raped or killed somebody. Like, the white supremacist has done our people, but we're not mad about that. Y'all didn't we only be mad for a moment with them. Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice. Where's those cops and where are they at? Do we even know what those cops look like? We only know our names. We always say her name, remember her, because that is like the only power they give us, and we only hold on to the power they give us. It's a choice. It's a choice. That with the Shaquilla, I watched how everybody, black and white people, just sit back and they gonna pass it. White people don't use that. They ain't say, "Oh, she was jealous." Their radio stations and their commentators are just saying, "Hey, the other lady that they said was a trans, which wasn't, she's not arrested." Y'all, we spread rumors, and I sat back and watched. We spread rumors on ourselves, and that we always taking the bait. I just read you. I'm gonna read again what Neely Fuller said. Each and every victim of racism. Look, half of us don't even believe we're victims of racism, and that is a problem. I've had to tell a couple of people around me, young people, like, well, I ain't never been treated racist. I never seen racism. You hear people say that. That's because it's so well hidden into the fibers of America that we really say that. You wonder why you can't get a job. Black kids wake up every day sitting in the projects and don't know why you're in the projects. And then they will tell you they don't see racism. You gotta go. They make us spend our money with them. When I get ready to go get something to eat, I have no choice unless I cook it myself. And then that comes from a white place. It's a choice that wasn't given to us because we won't do anything about it. Kathy B, I just seen, if you can, everyone, please watch Hebrews to Negroes. I'm gonna have to get that and look at it because my mom and them, we were trying to watch it. It's sad that we take the bait and would make it. And I'm not saying, I'm not taking away from her, because I hate to see our people die. It's just that we act like animals. We beat each other, but we don't never look at where did this come from. It's like they only keep having us living in the moment while they keep showing us their past and telling us that was a long time ago, because they don't want to connect the dots where you have PTSD and this has been passed down from slavery. They don't want you to remember who you are. And we all know this. We'll all say it, and then we'll go about our lives on this Monopoly board like it's just go ahead and roll the dice. My turn. Go ahead and roll the dice. His turn. Get out of jail. Most black people got the same common denominator. Been arrested, either tickets. It's always disorderly conduct. And if when disorderly conduct is always attached to resisting arrest, like we know the same old games. It's like I'm in a real life damn Monopoly game, the Twilight Zone, and that's why I say slavery is a choice. Let me tell you something. We get up every day and we will defend the Bible. That is our biggest hook in our mouth, is the Bible and football and basketball. Those are the hooks. Let me read what I just said from Neely Fuller Jr. This is on the back of the book of the United Independent Compensatory Code System and Conduct. They keep telling us we don't have a code. This man he wrote a code. We don't read the right books because they don't allow our books in their schools. Remember, we integrated. We let them tell us what Martin Luther King said. Martin Luther King said, at the end of the day, I feel like I integrated my people in a burning house. So fuck that dream, is basically what he was saying. But you don't get to hear it roar like that. You got to go with what they put in front of you. Then their little minions and demons out here teaching our children. And then we all keep talking about follow the law and what's right and what's wrong. The back of the book, the last thing says, each and every victim of racism should minimize the time, effort spent doing anything other than thinking first. Thinking. Thinking. Think. Like Dan Calloway said, I am here to make you think. First of all, you got to think about everything. Why is that there? Where did it come from? How is it? My mind is always thinking. When I was young, I didn't know it, but I always was, that voice always say, ask the question, ask the question. They always say, a stupid question is the one you never asked. They have taught us in the Bible. It's like we're programmed so much. The Bible has antennas and we don't realize it. Even though those who say they not in church, don't question God. And then the only God you know is a white man on a stick. So it goes along with images and stuff and making it okay to forgive, because you see angels are supposed to be beautiful with pretty hair. Okay, the angels look just like white women and just like white men. We don't want to understand the programming that has been done to us. It's a choice not to sit down and think. He said each and every victim of racism should minimize the time and effort spent doing anything other than thinking, speaking, and acting in a manner that helps to eliminate racism, which is white supremacy, and helps to establish justice, which is balance between people. See, the thing about racism is that most crimes committed in America is committed by white people, but most of the people put in their prisons are black because they're making money. Most of the people that's put in the prison are black, but there are black and white people in prison, but all of them are being treated like shit, black and white. They're all being treated like crap, black and white. So when you get behind those doors, all they care about is $1. We're all getting minimum wage, but the majority of the people who are going to suffer is black people, because 50 years ago, when our mamas were going to school, they just integrated. We had our own schools where we had the mind where we could teach. It might not have been the best, but we was left behind. We got the old books and stuff that the white people had. So when they integrated, they could not hardly study or keep focused because they were harassed, picked on, killed, lynched. White people don't, they have the struggles of being in a white society, a rich, it's called classism. They're not in the upper class of white people, so they're treated like shit. But black people are not in any class of anybody. We're treated like shit because of how we look, and we can't hide that. That's why most con artists are white, because they can only be another white person mingle with other white people, and they think that they're rich and they get the trust. That's a trust circle. They made sure our circle is busted up. So it says that you should not be doing anything other than thinking and speaking. What is speaking? Like I'm doing when you're around family, when you're not scared to speak up, when you're not scared to tell the other person, man, don't buy them designer jeans. No, don't do this. No, don't get the ticket. Let your people don't go buy go buy these high expensive tickets to go to this and that place. No, let's not look at this. It's like you have to speak up with each other, and it becomes a unity. But we are trying to outdo each other. It's no more telling each other, don't spend money. Don't. Now it's called hating or whatever when you tell each other the truth now. And that is what was instilled in us. It also says speaking and acting in a manner. They made it a joke. They made it a joke for us to say we woke, or that we basically want to put us first. We got to put all, see on our screen, we got to put religion, corporations, work, foot, this, sports, designer labels, voting. All that comes before our skin color. Because see, everybody is living. See, if we were all white, this would be called fighting against a social problem, classism. But no, this is a human rights problem, because we cannot hide who we are. And we watch people pretend to be us, make money off us. We know that we laugh that white people don't have no seasoning and they don't hardly season the food. We know that they didn't cook for themselves. We know that those that want choose, we know the history of white people. So why are they the top chefs? Why is their name on every label of everything in our house? Why are we filled in why is our house filled with slave master names and products? When we know that most Black people created stuff, we know about Jack Daniels, we know all this stuff. So why is it okay? Why do we keep going on? Why do we keep saying reparations? What the hell? We choose. We choose to keep, because one person only, we spend so much time fighting about them killing us and saying their name, we don't even have time to understand 50 years done went by again. 100 years done went by again. Our grandparents and parents been fighting the same fight. But we just do, at the end of the day, we do like all them do. The sports, our people can play sports. When are we going to get our own league? Like I was saying earlier, it used to be we needed the money to go back home and build our own. We done stop worried about building our own. We done stop worried about the people in sports, just like Kyrie and Yedem. It's just that they caught up with the white man's lifestyle because they had enough money to live like a normal person. But when you live with the white man and his ideologies, you're going to spend as much money as but he has a reservoir of money, and we only have that moment of money. Long as your body can hold up and them knees can hold up, our stars will sell us out. LeVar said we created a lot of things with despite being held back. Exactly. So where are the things that we created? Why are they not name brand house? Why are they not household names? Why is it okay for us to always know white people names and not know our own people names? Why is that okay? How do they get the bill? They done went all through the products. Now they all through technology. And then they sit up here and tell us to get it how we live. And yet they had they still getting money from slavery. They're making money and we arguing about reparations, and then they right before our faces they give other people reparations. Ukraine is nowhere in America. They do nothing for me and you. We built America. Our grandparents and grand ancestors done died, bled, and they get billions of dollars, and we go to work and hand it to them. And nobody is not just walking, all of us together is not walking away, not the white people, not the Black people. Nobody is just stopping and going, let's sit on the White House stairs until we get what is rightfully ours. If you and your white friend got to argue about reparations, they are not your friend. We choose to hope that everything they gave us, they knew that the pot was going to boil over, so they gave us a lid. Your lid is religion. And every religion is saying the same thing. It's the same devil. It's the same God, but his name different. The only difference with the religions is what you practice to get what you supposed to get when you die. Everybody's gifts of dying is different. That's the only difference with the religion. You can't. They read a book. Look over in the other country. All the men, to me, that's just gayness. All the men stay together. All the women is the slaves. When we can clearly see, if we study African history, that's the only thing they let us see, because they hid the pyramids everywhere else. So you could just think Black people only came from Africa and then they came from somewhere, like they always been there. So you won't see the stories. We all know he was everywhere. And in those pictures, every statue is women and men together. There was big statues of a king. There was big statues of a queen. There's togetherness. They holding each other. Where did I'm supposed to be your slave and you the head of the household? There was no household. Most of the civilizations that you see was built for everybody. You look and see what you're not seeing. Look and what do we don't have that they have? Togetherness. Because if we had togetherness, and if we were still those togetherness people, we would have not gotten as far as we got. That's why they had to destroy our unity with each other, because at the end of the day, all we had was each other. Now they show us, I'm looking at something that just flashed across the TV now. It's a black dude holding a gun in the hallway with another black dude shooting him. The common scene. All we want to do is be gangsters. That is programming. Why do our kids get to see that kind of shit? Why is there no separation between adult stuff and children stuff? Your parents is the white supremacist, the American government, and they allow this because they know you're going to be programmed. So that's why you don't see them in movies. They're always heroes. They're always guys. They're always, even if when they're bad, they're idolized. Look at Jeffrey Dahmer. Even though we all watched it, they made money. We see that it was mostly black people dying. You don't see nothing about the black families got nothing. All these people making movies, what did they get? The white people got to be rich. Women King, they use our black actors. Yes, they use our mind against us. We don't see. They think that if you don't go see it, then you're going to hurt Viola Davis' feeling and it's going to be like a flop. No, if we all didn't go see it, she's still getting paid. It's time for us to stop supporting our own destruction. Because it was nothing but a bunch of white women who made that movie. I didn't go see it, don't have no desire. Not saying I won't watch it if it come across something that I see, but I'm not gonna go out my way to watch it. And I made sure I didn't go out my way this time to watch Wakanda. It's like, how long are we gonna be sheep to and cattle and something in their fence that they can use us off of? They wrote these damn stories. Our people just acting in them. They wait on us. Why did they put a black person? Because they waiting on our black asses to come and go buy it or look at it and pay something for it. We choose slavery. Like you said, it's a choice because you can either, like all the slaves on the ships, all they had to do, you mean you gonna let somebody handcuff? You see your brother get handcuffed, your sister get handcuffed, you see them killing. So they didn't get chained up with a mind to get out of it. They didn't get chained up. They just got chained up, hoping that the white man gonna see Jesus and do right. How long are we gonna hold on to the hope that they gave us, the lid that's holding this boiling pot down? They keep saying we crabs in a bucket, but honey, crabs in a bucket get out. You could call it crabs in a bucket, or you could call them holding and lifting, because you can look at it another way. When I go get them live crabs, I looked at it the other day when I got it. I look at everything spiritual. When I pull one crab out, the other one held on. They hold arms. When you pull one out, you pull them out. You can pull them all out together. So we need to really start looking at, is crabs in a bucket really something hard? Look at how come we always got a subtitle: niggas, crabs in a bucket, ops. Look at that. What do we call the white man? What do we call our white enemy? The banks, them, they. We'll never have no songs that talk about killing them. Because you better not. Because they own everything. Grand Rising, Billion Guy's son. Billion Guy's son, them out there in LA. We've been talking, they've been protesting. We need all y'all to be putting out Break the Bank. They've been joining with us under the empire. We've been trying to get things together and plan of how we're going to get out this situation. They going to the, they had me think they going to the head of everything, the banks. Because we keep arguing with the little players. The banks, it's 8 central banks, and it shows. And I got the hashtag is in the description with the videos. Shout out to Billion Guy's son right here. Follow him on Instagram. Fight to Save LA, Africa Town Coalition, our military, all them together, NAPP. Mind Games, Just Because. All of us are a group of people who've been strategically thinking and trying to find ways that we can really make a difference, because we want freedom for real. Slavery is a choice. You either choose to ignore it or you choose to keep playing this game. Go down your timeline on Facebook and all that. How many sports teams are people yelling? I'm looking at like 1 minute y'all crying that we shooting each other. The other minute y'all saying hashtag say his name. And then next minute everybody talking about go Auburn. Go Georgia. Whatever the other names of these teams is. Like, really? Billion Godson, them came up with break the bank. We've been pushing it. That's what's in the hashtag because we gotta force the hands that's been making trillions of dollars out of you. You look at the description in this video. Look at the video that Maxine Waters and the other senators questioned all the banks. And then when they asked them in one of the videos, has anybody going to be having a black CEO or doing something about the racism? It's something that they said at the end. I forgot the exact words, but no one raised their hand but one bank. They've been making billions of dollars, and out of all those trillions and billions of dollars, they've been giving it to their people who look like them and the people they consider under white supremacy, the Chinese, the other white people, your neighbor. That's why that's why you got white neighborhood and black neighborhood. My husband's family were farmers. What happened? They were sold fake seeds and stuff, so their crops wouldn't grow. My grandmother them were sharecroppers. They had to go out there and crop the land. And times that my family was poor because they were ripped off after they don't work the land, they wouldn't get fed. They wouldn't get any money. My family used to fight back. They burned down my great grandmother them house, and we arguing about who should get damn reparations. Why is we having this conversation and why is we allowing it? Why do we get to keep saying, oh, y'all angry? That's a stereotype. We should be damn angry. You're not angry? Why can't I get an angry rap song out of somebody and say, shoot the pigs and stuff like that? Like you say, shoot your ops and niggas. Oh, because it might be against the law? Who wrote the law? Them? What did I just say that Neely Fuller wrote? Each and every victim of racism should minimize the time and effort spent doing anything other than thinking, speaking, acting in a manner that helps to eliminate racism, which is white supremacy, and helps to establish justice, which is balance between people. Each and every person should seek to do this every day in every area of activity. They keep controlling our activity. The activity including economics. That's why we got a shot with them. You have no choice. How can you think that is not racism? Go out your door. Why is there not? Why do we keep cheering? Talking about the first black this, the first black that. Man, we've been ruling the world for centuries. It's the first black in this white supremacy society. Each and every person. You go out. Why is there not a black grocery store? Why is it that the Asians are in our neighborhood selling us hair and beauty products? Why did we support stores and go in there and we half our pictures back in the day had makeup that looked like we got cake on our face because we didn't have nothing that blended in with our skin? How come all the doctors in America, 95% of them are white or Indian? Only 5% of all your doctors in America are black. Why is that? And then they make it look like, oh, that's because y'all thugs, y'all don't care. No, we did care because this did not happen up until the 1970s when I grew up. I grew up on a different world, Cosby Show. I grew up on positivity that made me think that I was something. Imagine if I grew up looking at movies showing me how to shoot and kill my brothers and sisters and stuff. We would all be like the young children we see today, wouldn't we? They said in economics, you get to spend your money where they tell you to spend your money. When we don't want to spend it with them, they made sure they done lock down the market where you ain't got no way to put it. And then when you get ready to go get a storefront or something, it's so hard because you barely have money to get a business. And now you got to pay the rent that your neighbor who had a history of a head start. They love to tell their history. They love to reenact, but they don't like them. None of them won't tell you how they got their money from slavery. So now we're on the same credit score as white people when just 50 years ago, we wasn't even in the same schools. How is that? In economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. It's crazy how our black men are advertised to stay with white women no matter what, knowing that almost all your black towns, that's because they don't educate. They don't want to educate. CRT, critical race theory, would point out these things to grown people. That's why why do they get the ban critical race theory so that we don't tell each other the truth? You're not poor because you're lazy. Your kids ain't out here killing people and killing each other because they're just thugs. They were programmed. I'm looking at it right now. I see a show. Black men are not wasn't the number one cheaters. They were faithful. They were taught that you can have a baby mama and a this and that. This was programmed in them through shows and stuff. Name the shows we grew up on that showed that. Our songs talked about our lives. Our songs encouraged you. Even if you did something wrong, that was the sneaky songs. That was the grown people song. Name a song that the children don't know, that the grown people know. It was a time where you couldn't even look at certain stuff on TV until after 12 because that'd be the time that your kids was in the bed. But there were same powers that be that owned that own everything said, nah, we're gonna let it in. You used to couldn't say bitch, now it's okay. Who is the one raising your children? You really believe you're raising your children? The only way you're able to raise your children is if you take electronics out your house. School them yourself. Get the books that your children need. But because they got to play this system, they got to put a chip on the board. You got to give them the education of the white man in order to get in the white man's system. It's a choice. We keep voting when we see that they arguing about voting because we really don't know politics. We just moving through the board. Just like Monopoly, roll the dice, move forward this many spaces. You might luck up and hit the railroad. Now, some of us luck up and make money. But then when we get the money, we live the lifestyle of those that's rich who's been living like this for generations instead of building our own communities and economies. We don't have our own. I didn't realize it until I had to study. I really thought when I stayed in the hood, those was our communities. And then I had to really think, like Nellie Fuller Jr. said, think. Wait a minute, the houses are owned by white people. So if they can put more money in the house on the white side, how come I got cousins that been living in houses for the same houses for years and they had to fix it up. I know a lot of black people. I noticed when all of us in the hood, if we wanted our house, not because I did. I remember I had to stain my walls and paint our houses. We got to put more work into it, and still them white people come and they buy them and they leave them and they don't fix them up, and then they tell you, well, y'all live in the ghetto and the house is raggedy. And then there's a TikTok that's a joke when they say, "Oh, I found this house for this price," and then you hear the gunshots and you lay down. It's like we accept what they did to us. We accept slavery. All of us won't. There's enough stars and stuff and money where we can. All the black people can walk away for a week until white people say, until we tell them like no more sports, no more of our people, no more of nothing. We got enough of our doctors and Lord, no more of nothing until we get part of America that is owed to us. Enough is a fucking enough. But no, everybody wants to keep being on this board. It's not enough. Beyonce and Jay-Z rich enough, but hey, you got to keep playing this game because you got to keep up with the white man money. It's not enough. Our stars, Our stars and our people, rappers and all that, they get millions of dollars, hundreds of, even $1 million. Even if it's $1 million, but it's not enough. We think Yeezy is poor. I'm looking at people talking about how poor he is, and he's richer than anybody that's sitting on YouTube probably with us. He don't need them big houses like that. You don't need to live in that neighborhood. A lot of them can come fix up the hood, but they buying Section 8 houses and stuff too. We can demand a lot more out the government if we stuck together. We always only want to stick together to march, yell. I be telling people this is their streets. When you get in your car and you ride down the street in America till you learn how to be a nationalist, and that's what we're gonna learn in the nation, because I've been working with another guy trying to understand it because it's complicated. You are on their streets. You are on their monopoly board, so you have no choice but to play. But nobody, I watch us, we go to reparations rallies. The only reason that half the people went because it's talking about money. Nobody really wants to do anything for freedom. We can walk away in one day if half of the black people in America just walked away. Hey, you got it. Well, let's get cars, gas. Who got this? Who got that? Let's gas up. Let's go to Washington. Let's go to, or each person in each state go to their state capital and stand there, or whatever. Every black person in each state, or we go to the federal capital, make this federal government who gives away Asian protection, who gives billions of dollars to people in another country. If we all got together and did something, then we would make a change. But we don't even trust each other enough, because we like, who gonna hold the money? I ain't giving the money to her. Well, they got money, is they gonna come? If I pay for this, is they gonna come? Imagine if all the police officers and firefighters, and then I'm just talking about the black people. Imagine the so-called white people who claim they don't see color and don't see nothing left with us. That's some unity for your ass. But I guess I just have a dream. Cause that's why I say, if your white friend ain't defending this and that, they not your friend. Imagine if everybody black just say, "Hey, this week, everybody gonna get money. Either we gonna all go hit the federal government, the White House, or we gonna hit, like, the white people. They get together, they hold the place hostage. I ain't saying hold hostage. We march. We look at that old famous picture of Martin Luther King out there with all them people out there. When we gonna do that again? We gonna keep on remembering why they keep erasing our history and making us remember theirs, making us cry for them and their dead ones, why they kill us? When are we gonna get tired? When are we gonna stop playing this game of slavery? It's a choice. When are we gonna stop rolling the dice and say, hey, we gonna plan something? That would be for everybody that's on YouTube. I'm talking about from everybody. All of the people that we calling ops and each other. If they all ain't ops, we ain't all ain't ops and stuff like that, then everybody should be thinking, let's all get together. Let's all talk about our open enemy. Let's all tell the same news. See, the thing how white people do is, when I worked in news, when you get a news story, they all tell the same story. You can turn the channel and turn the channel. It's just that the person that's telling it might give you a little bit more oomph to it or whatever. But they all the white news outlets tell the same stories. They do the same ammo. We started copying them when we started being YouTube commentators, and but we don't tell our story. When we gonna all get together and like bump this? Everybody, let's head to Washington with our signs and demand a reparation, demand a change, demand that these white cops get arrested, demand that the federal government be done or whatever, because they have already admitted, that the police stations in every state and city be redone, because they already admitted that the KKK has infiltrated all of the police departments. When we gonna actually do something? Instead of everybody gonna plan a vacation next year, are we all gonna plan to go to the White House? Or y'all gonna keep going to Mexico and spending your money whatever they tell you to spend, or y'all ready to do a music part because you need a break and your children ain't do nothing this year. And then when your child is shot somewhere, something happened, and you be like, say his name, say that. We should have marched, right? Everybody that like to march, when we gonna all go up to the White House? Because y'all love marching in the street. We got the same old preachers, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all these people who was there with Martin Luther King. Ain't nan one of them did nothing else but talk. They get their money, they go to sleep, they eat, they do this and do that. When are we all gonna get one on one accord? How many of our kids gonna sign up to these Jewish record labels that pay them to say nigga, kill each other, all the destructive things that we keep saying that we don't want our kids doing? But they getting paid for it, so it's okay. Every black neighborhood got studio, drugs, guns, and rest in peace t-shirts. Like, how many times are we gonna eat poisonous food? Only in the big cities. I know most people say Atlanta or Houston or wherever else. Most big cities got maybe some black businesses. What about the rest of the country? Why is there not black businesses just like I see white and Asian and Mexican? How come we get to see all these people and we get to blend in? I guess we hip to hip with white people, like we're their Siamese twins. Everything we made, they own and they profit off of. While we sit back and argue and fight with each other, and we want to be seen, we want recognition, so we'll put on their labels. Because back then you would want to be branded by your master, because if another white person or slave master came, then oh, you belong to Mr. Billy, Mr. Johnny. Now we wear it in clothing. I got red bounds. We wear the belts, we wear the hats, the hoodies, whatever. It's like we ain't nothing but walking white billboards. And then if you don't, because we trying to dress up, we trying to cover up the blackness subconsciously, and we don't realize that's what's happening with our kids. We just now being able to wear our hair. When we tell white people stop cultural appropriating, oh, we braided our hair too. That is, you don't need your hair in a protective style. Your braids would not even hold up. You look stupid when you put weave in your hair and braid your hair. Our hair is not coiled up. Your hair is matted when you put dreads in it. It's matted. Ours is coiled because it coils. And then when you put it in a dread, it falls into that pattern. We don't have to. You can't call us nappy on one end and then say you got dreads in another. Everything we have. But okay, hold on. I'm reading. LeVar said Kanye saying slavery was a choice on a white-owned platform with majority of white employees is very off code. No, it wasn't, because we need to know the truth. It wasn't off code because most of it was on a white platform, but black people watch that show majority because we love gossip. He was speaking to his people like I'm speaking to us. I had to think about it. It's a choice. That's why he took his clothes when everybody they do him like they did Einstein. And if we don't know the history of Einstein, they used to call Einstein crazy. And if you look, Einstein had a little afro in him. Einstein said he was shocked at the way that the black Americans was treated. See, they treated us like this shit here first. And then they got America to be the top of the world. They put their army everywhere. And then everybody else started treating us like that. See, our people were still fighting, but they don't want to tell you the stories of how black people were still fighting over there. We were fighting here too. That's why you see the cowboys and Indians. But as long as we don't believe we were the Indians and they get to paint this fake Indian, they don't never want you to see a story or a vision of a strong black man fighting white people back. I always, when I was little, wondered what the cowboys and Indians was fighting over. Did y'all? We just pow pow. I'm an Indian. I'm a cowboy, and we was reenacting, and that was in our mind. And the whole time we talking about killing each other. They started us off real young. So in order to reach our people, we got nothing but white platforms. When Yeezy started wearing bland clothes and stuff, they like, those look like slave clothes because it wasn't no brand. His shoes was different. But look at when they try to take him off. Adidas used it for an excuse to get rid of him. But what they did? They still kept his designs. That was like, long as we was all on the bandwagon, they was just, every white person was throwing their name in the hat, and then they all got effed up because they forgot they had contracts. We need to know it's a choice because we choose to keep working for them, living for them. We trying to work so we can go on that big vacation and buy that big house. We not trying to work to have a town so we can separate. We ain't trying to buy no islands. We trying to buy the nicest car so we can drive. I work for it. I deserve it. I can understand you deserve something good to eat and stuff, but not having the bombest car, as long as your car is good, but not having a name brand car is not deserving. It's like what did Nelly Fuller say? Each and every victim of racism should minimize the time and effort spent doing anything other than speaking and acting in a manner that helps to eliminate racism, which is white supremacy. Because when you stop buying their shit and we stop doing stuff, then they don't make money. They don't make money. That's right, LeVar. He could have created his own platform, but we all learning. Because all the other stars could too. There's not more than 5 black. Just because we know Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Charles Barkley, there's a lot of most of all the people on the basketball teams and football teams are black. There go trillions of dollars right there, but they don't see it like that. Because nobody is fighting to have something better or to pull away. Everybody wants to get enough money so that they can play in the bigger, like when you ever went gambling, you got the regular gambling tables, and then they said this is the high rollers room. Everybody is trying to get in the high rollers to show I can live like the white man. I'm just as good as the white man. See, I can wear his labels, I can drive his car, I can live in his neighborhood, I can fuck his women. Everybody want, look, my kids look white. I be so shocked at us. Like, your kids gonna get sunburned and they not even, I'm not saying I'm against anybody that's mixed, because there's some mixed people that love each other. But right now, we need to be eliminating the system of white supremacy, not adding to it. And if you're gonna have mixed kids, I hope that your white wife or your white husband is hating other white people who are racist, versus you just laying down. Because we had so many stories of black women that been with white men and they calling them Negroes and this and that, and it ain't turning out too pretty. Or the white men that been tricking black women. Remember that white man that had AIDS and he was giving it all to them black women, the DJ, and the white men white men always slept with black women even in slavery. So it's not, they just say they don't like us, but they not it's a difference. They just say they don't like us for our skin color, which they do. But the difference with us is that we laying under somebody or something that got us murdered and killed. The same people that look like them will turn around and call you a Negro. And how many of our people during this day have we found hung in trees? It's like we're taking a big chance, and then most of them will be with them and their families like, well, I don't be with my family because they're racist. Okay. It's like it's a difference with us dating them and them dating us. It's a big difference. Black people didn't get white people towns burned down and lynched. Darren Lewis 88 Lewis said, I wonder if it's true or not. Are they fully human or not? Well, they do got their hair follicles is that of fur. They have recessive gene. They reflect the sun. We absorb it. That is scientific. And they keep saying we the same people. We all the same. No, the hell we're not. We were made for this planet, and you were made for this planet long as you're not in the sun. So when did they start coming on top? How come they did not come into history until a few thousand years ago? And how come they keep digging up our ancestors and finding ways to make it look like them when the walls can clearly see black people? But we got to argue with this madness. because they own the power to say so. I feel like, yes, slavery is a choice. Long as we keep waking up and long as I see you cheering for football and doing this, them people don't need you. They making their money. You just ready to give it to your son. That I heard Ice Cube, we don't talk about that. He got the big three. I heard Damon Dash, he's trying to come up with his own sports team because he can't stand it himself. We ain't putting our money together and trying to invest and look into what he's doing and stuff. We need to look for alternatives and stop always just going with the board game of Monopoly that's put before us. We choose to look at shows that show and depict us as gangster thugs. We choose to look at movies that white tell our stories with. We choose the And then when most of our people that do make movies, we do the same stuff. We want to be the gangsters. We want to do this. We choose the listen. I'm saying all of us choose the rap music that tell us to kill and hate each other, and we choose not to say the same thing to them. We choose to talk like them. Our voice is not the same. Our voice box is not the same. That's why Becky sounds like Becky and we sound like us. So I don't need to talk soft because I'm not a white woman. I don't need to straighten my hair unless I just want to detangle it. I don't need to look like Becky and Karen. We need to find the need to stop needing to be like them when they are still in our identity left and right. They still in our melanin. They still in our organs. They got all our inventions. When you walk out the door, it's clearly there. There's no cars with black people name on it, but we know that the black man invented the car. Exactly. Almost all the seasonings in your cabinets are owned by white people, even though we know they don't season. They didn't cook. All the recipe books, most of all the decorators are, oh, Martha Stewart and all them. When? Where does the history of white people teaching anybody anything other than destruction and hate equivalates to them owning everything and we getting everything from them? Ashley Furniture Store, Badcock, the grocery stores, Winn Dixie, Publix, Costco's, Sam's Club, Walmart. All of those are white names. Sneakers, Adidas, Nikes. We don't, you know, all the software, social media, YouTube, Facebook, like does nobody, TikTok is Chinese. Like even when you see Mexicans, they say black and brown, but they got their own communities. The police, half of them don't know Spanish. So I lived in Birmingham. I seen a man dead right there on the ground. All the whatever happened between them, they was speaking Spanish. They claimed they couldn't even do the investigation. They couldn't solve the murder because it was the communication was off and they couldn't understand this and that. But they got a tool we don't have. That's why we trying to teach each other Swahili. They got tools you don't have. They had the ups. They had a 400-year head start, and everybody knows it off of our backs of our grandparents and stuff. But you don't even know those are your grandparents or nothing because half of us was on sex farms or kidnapped and switched over, or half of us, our parents, a great grandparents probably was murdered, and we had to parents had to live with other people. We don't want to admit the stuff that they was doing to us. What about the sex farms? The sex farms, mothers had to sleep with sons and this and that. We already know we didn't even have the diseases that we had. It came a lot from them. This is history. Why we don't know the real history? Why do we go to school and we still learning about George Washington and all the wars and not knowing who the real people who they were attacking were us? How come we don't know how many times black people have been ethnicity has been changed? We went from the Negroes or the Indians to Negroes, like they say, from Hebrews to Negroes. That's why that name is that. We went from black to African American. I didn't know until we started talking about it, and Jesse Jackson gave us that name. So how come we are the people who keep being switched, but white always is white? You don't never see on the application, are you Chinese or whatever, but they damn sure in our neighborhoods, Asians. Now, what is up with the application? Is you Hispanic or non-Hispanic? And then Biden said that they're going to be the minority, so they want the Hispanics to step in. So what is up with, why do I have, I'm like, why do I have to answer if I'm Hispanic or non-Hispanic? What happened to black? We just gonna keep letting them erase us from history. They just keep acting like we don't exist. We don't, like we nothing. Why the hell on that? And look at it yourself. Why is this question prevalent now? Are you Hispanic or non-Hispanic? So you want the Hispanic people because that's your next lineup for the white supremacists. Long as black is still behind. We really need to think about what is being done to us. I'm going to just read this. This comes from Dr. Claude Anderson before I close out. I'm going to read this paragraph. This is from Powernomics. Despite the fact that integration began 50 years ago, 50, and you blaming yourself for being poor and not knowing how to do a business and all that, Black Americans remain the primary targets of conservative hate groups, police brutality, and abusive government actions. According to a Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI annual report, Blacks are the victims of approximately 67% of hate crimes, though they're only 12.4% of the nation's total population. So we only supposed to be 12%, 13% of the population, but we account for 67% of the hate crimes done against us. But yet we're 75% of the people put in prison. We keep brushing it off as it is nothing, but let an Asian die. Let get and they can beat on us and everything. Enough is enough. We are only 13% of the nation's total population, with recent incidents such as 170 church burnings. Now, this book was a couple of years ago. 170 churches. Where's your Jesus? There you go. Where's Jesus and God that's supposed to keep protecting us? Because these people keep getting around away with everything, and y'all keep praying to the same God. Y'all keep putting that lid. Y'all keep putting all your apples in the same basket as your enemy. They said when you put one bad apple, it'll spoil the whole bunch. That you cannot continue to believe that y'all are serving the same God, because you gotta look at common sense and stop making your life an individual testimony when it's not. I know a woman I just seen on Facebook, the pastor's wife, all this lovey, blah, blah, blah. They was a beautiful couple. She's still young, was laying in her bed and got shot in the head. And now he talking about, oh, it was God's will. Really? That's what God want? He take all the good, everybody, they take the good ones. It makes no damn sense. 170 church boners, and out of all of them, not God ain't did nothing about it. They can burn us, lynch us, burn the churches. They've been burning little girls in churches. Come on, y'all. 170 church burnings. Black men dragged to their death behind pickup trucks in Texas and Illinois, or shot 41 times in New York while reaching for a wallet. It is not difficult to understand how the totality quickly reaches 67%. The FBI's hate crime list does not even include soft crimes like denying Black people home mortgages, jobs, or right to use the highway without being pulled over for driving while Black. With every category of social economic deprivation, Blacks represent 6 to 8 times their proportionate number of general population. The fact that Blacks are overrepresented in this nation's welfare, poverty, unemployment, homelessness, drug addiction, and crime rolls is no accident and should come as no surprise. The function of racism is marginalized to Black people. We choose to keep playing this damn game of Jesus is going to fix it and the white man going to change and we going to vote our way out of destruction. when we singing our destruction, looking at it in them movies, playing the game, doing everything, spending our money with them, denying that we need to separate, we're going to have to leave certain states and places. And when we get towns, we're going to have to move and leave. We're going to have to really change and get uncomfortable. That is the word, uncomfortable. It's time to get uncomfortable, Black people, melanated people, wherever you want to call yourself, because we care more about a name when we getting called. We care more about being called Black than what we really being treated. But I just wanted to give that to y'all tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get off of this live, and I'll be back with y'all another day. Thank you for listening to the UEOA report. Think about what I said, replay this, like, and share. We got to stop playing this game. We really need freedom. Have a blessed night.